Guys, yesterday I had given some tasks like what is a host-based firewall, right? What is hardware or a software? What is a stateless? What is a stateful and next generation firewall? I told you guys to do research on that. Have you done it?
I think the
Yes,
research
sir.
was on the research was rather on stateless firewall,
Wait, one by
stateful,
one,
and
one by one.
Basically, what I told you yesterday about a special condition on IT. So I, yeah, okay,
You talking to me?
no, I think someone was talking and unmute his micro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was saying the research was rather on stateless firewall, stateful, and next generation because the host base was already covered, the network
Mhm.
base also was covered, like in general.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Once
so for
again,
the stateless.
yeah, tell me about the stateless. Yeah, tell me.
Yes. So for the stateless, we can say it's a stateless firewall is a device which filter traffic without tracking the connection state. The connection state means without he does not look at which device has initiated the communication. So once the device get the request, it just respond to the request. And then for the stateful, it considers the state of the connection, where the connection is coming from, which device has initiated the communication. For instance, when we have a web server in between, like in a demilitarized zone, and then there's a request, the firewall will make sure it checks if the request is first of all coming from inside, like if it was initiated from inside before it allows the request coming from the DMZ zone towards the internal network, because it might happen that if it's an attacker which has taken possession of a server which is in the DMZ zone, if the request has not been initiated from the internal, the stateful firewall wouldn't allow that traffic unless it has been initiated earlier on from the internal. That's how come it allows the response coming from the DMZ zone.
Okay, okay, that's
And
fine. Okay, in short, tell
and
me
then
about next generation
and
firewall, guys. What is next generation firewall? Mhm.
next generation firewall.
Yep. I would like to give this
Yeah,
chance to
so
others as well. Let's go
Next,
for some time. Okay. Others, yeah, please tell me what is next generation firewall, guys?
Sir, next generation firewall is an advanced and modern firewall that provides deep security.
Okay.
from
Okay.
till layer 7.
Okay. More.
It works to it works to multiple layers, layers 3 to layer 7,
Okay.
and it use the application in user and content.
Tell me about features. What are the features of next generation firewall?
So deep packet inspection, application awareness and control. Application like Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Zoom,
Okay.
etc.
Okay. More.
etc.
Tell me more features.
Instruction prevention system, user identity awareness,
Mm.
etc.
Okay. Good. See, guys, did you understand like what benefits you guys are getting? Like, if I'm giving you, topics previously, right? One day before I gave you all the topics, what you have to prepare, right? So I see there is a progress in you guys. Like, you all have prepared well. Okay, whatever you guys have told, all are good. Okay. So same way, every time I'll be giving you, further topics. So you have to prepare yourself. Okay, and come for the next class. All right.
Uh, Sir, मेरा एक सर रिक्वेस्ट है
Yeah, yeah.
सर
Tell me.
प्लीज सर को पीडीएफ सर भेज देंगे तो बहुत अच्छा होंगे एक्चुअल आप जो कल क्लास लिया था तो
Mhm,
मैं वो का जो चैट जीपीटी है वो का गूगल है वो का आज देखा है वो ड्यूटी
mhm,
करते करते इसलिए
mhm.
सर वो जो
Yeah,
जिसका
yeah.
सर पाया है
Okay, I'll just share it. Okay, give me a after after the class, I'll share those PPTs in a WhatsApp group as well. Okay, don't worry.
ओके सर ओके यार सर प्लीज सेंड मी सर रिकॉर्डिंग सर हम
Yes, I'll be sharing. Okay, don't worry.
ओके सर
So
थैंक
yeah,
यू सर थैंक यू
let us continue, guys. See, when I talk about a hardware, uh, in a hardware, you can see we have hardware-based firewall, right? In a hardware, you'll have physical firewall over here, and it will have physical interfaces connected, right? So here you can understand devices will be connected with your physical hardware. It will have physical interfaces like Giga Ethernet or whatever interface it has. Same way, interfaces will be connected with your WAN, right? So it's a physical hardware, and physical hardware resources will not be shared with anyone. For example, understand this physical hardware will have CPU, it will have RAM, it will have storage. So these resources are not being shared by anyone, right? I mean, it's not being shared by any other devices. It will be utilized only for this hardware. This is where hardware comes into a picture. If you have a requirement where you know you need a dedicated hardware, and there are some more features which will be supported only with the hardware, like we have, if I talk about Cisco firewalls, right? In a Cisco firewall, there are few features which will be supported only with the hardware, like active active failover, right? Clustering, right? These are the two major features which will be supported only with the hardware. It won't be supported with software-based firewall, right? But along with hardware, we have, along with advantages, we have some disadvantages as well. Disadvantage is your hardware cost will go very high. Cost wise, it is high, right? And you can't deploy, okay, you can't deploy it to public cloud. You can't deploy it to a public cloud. These are few disadvantages of the hardware. Guys, if I tell you, hey, go and purchase one laptop, right? And inside the laptop, you'll have Windows operating system. What will be approx cost for one laptop of i7 latest generation? If I tell you i7 CPU with 16 GB RAM, if I tell you to purchase, what will be approx cost according to you? Tell me. It will be somewhere around 1 lakh, right? In Indian currency, right? It's somewhere 100,000. I'm talking about. This will be a cost in the Indian rupees, right? So instead of telling you to purchase, see, this cost is for hardware plus software. Two things are included here. But at the same time, if I tell you, hey, purchase only software, if I tell you go and purchase only software, don't purchase hardware, what will be your cost? Cost will be around 10K, right? Around 10,000. See the difference, guys. See the difference. What is the difference over here? Difference is it's 10 times, higher price we are paying here, and 10 times lesser price we are paying here. So if you want to save cost, and if you are able to manage, the task with your software-based firewall, my suggestion is go with software-based firewall. See, let's say if I am a company, if I am a service-based company like Infosys, Wipro, or CSS Corp, or any other company who provides services, service-based company, not a product-based company. I'm a service-based company. I'm providing services to our clients. Like I have an airport, I have military, I have other clients. I am providing services to them, right? In such cases, I would save my money, right? I would earn from the client, and I would save as much as I can. So I would use technologies like software-based firewall to save cost if I have to provide a firewall to them, I would save cost here. But if client needs hardware, then I would charge more to them, right? So there are different type of technologies that you guys can implement. Even client will have less cost, even you will be earning more, right? So there are different things, there are different factors are there. So everything has pro and cons, right? I mean, if I have a hardware, I get a dedicated resources, but I can't deploy it on a public cloud like AWS, Google, uh, or any other public clouds. But at the same time, we'll have a high cost as well. But when it comes to software-based firewall, cost is very low. I can deploy to a public clouds. I can deploy to AWS. I can deploy to Azure. I can deploy to Google. Okay. I can deploy to some other, Alibaba or KVM or whatever clouds are there. I can deploy it over there. So everything has a pro and cons, guys, right? So as per the requirement, we are purchasing both the type of products. So in a market, we have both the products. It's not like previous years that you'll have only hardware, you'll have only software. We don't have such type of environment now. So we'll be purchasing both hardware and software. Depends what type of product you want to purchase it. Am I clear, guys, all of you, with the hardware and software? Differences between them, am I clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Don't,
basically the
yeah.
difference is just on the cost basis, and then some features that are not supported with the physical device.
Mm,
Oh,
no, with software-based firewall, there are few features which does not support. It supports only in a hardware. Okay,
oh, okay.
like I told you, mm, I give an example. Uh, active clustering. These are two major features which supports only on hardware. This supports only on hardware. Does not support on software-based firewall. Right. So these are few limitations. But even hardware has some disadvantages, right? What are the disadvantages of hardware? I told you two major disadvantages of
The
hardware.
cost is
Cost will
the
go very high. And
is the
second thing,
cost, and then it cannot be deployed to the public cloud.
public clouds. Exactly. Now, here if you see, when I talk about software-based firewall, right? Software-based firewall, these two features will not be supported. See, I'm talking compared to Cisco firewall. On a Cisco, these two features are not supported on the software-based firewall. So when we'll go for Palo Alto, Checkpoint, FortiGate, I'll tell you accordingly what features are supported on the hardware and what not supported on the hardware. I'll give you entire informations on that. Okay. So here, see, when I talk about software-based firewalls, understand here you have UCS server. Now, what is UCS server? See, UCS is a server of Cisco. It's a Cisco server, Cisco UCS server. Likewise, we can have Dell server, we can have a HP server, and many more servers we can have. So it's not about having only servers, only of Cisco. I'm just showing you guys. It can be tower, it can be rack mounted. So let me show you Cisco UCS server. Right, you just see these images. I'm talking about this type of servers, right? And if you see UCS server interfaces, if I talk about here, you will realize it has multiple interfaces. I mean, it's not about one interface, see this type of panels will be there where you can see multiple NIC cards will be installed. Like that, multiple panels will be installed, which will have multiple NIC cards. And that NIC card will give you access for multiple type of, the VMs you can assign with. Okay. So this type of accesses you will be getting with UCS server or Dell server, right? These are the servers where software-based firewalls are deployed. If you see here, this is a server. On top of that, we have a virtualized operating system. Now understand what is ESXi. ESXi is a virtual operating system, right? Like it's a product of VMware. We have VMware. This is a company and it has a product of ESXi called as OS. Like you guys have Windows, right? Windows OS, right? You have Windows OS. Windows OS belongs to which company? Which vendor? Microsoft, right? Microsoft has a Windows operating system. Same way, you have VMware, and VMware has a ESXi operating system, right? On top of that, we have virtual switch. We have multiple, devices that we can deploy on top of this. Understand, guys? uh, in a real time, if I talk about a real implementations in a real working environment, if I talk about, you'll have, you know, dedicated type of virtualized operating system. Okay. In a real time on servers, we are not using this type of operating systems. No, not at all. We are not using these operating systems. We use operating systems like ESXi. I'll tell you a few operating systems. ESXi, NSX operating system, uh, Proxmox operating system. These all are the OS that can be used for virtualization purpose. These are used in a real time. Understood. So there are differences between these operating systems, but this is not a right time to discuss about those operating systems. So understand in a real time, real environment, right? We are,
Can VMware also be used in virtualization?
no,
Like
no, we have,
using the license one, because it has the like the free one and the license one.
see, VMware application is installed on top of operating system. VMware workstation. You're talking about this VMware workstation, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we're actually looking at uh the type two.
I'm talking about this is application. Okay.
Okay.
This is application. I'm not talking about application. Okay. I'm talking about operating system. Let me show you operating system. I have it.
सर 8 GB रैम में ये सपोर्ट करेंगे क्या? वो का 16 GB रैम का के
No,
खरीद
you
करना पड़ेगा?
see, we can install, but in your PC, you don't have to install ESXi. ESXi is different thing, guys. Please understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Guys, can you see this? Can you see this? What is this? VMware. Okay. And which operating system is this? ESXi. Understood. So it's a different operating system itself. It is not an application. It is operating system. So inside this, if you log in root and if you log in with the password, now see inside this, how much how much devices I have installed, right? I have installed DNAC, I have installed, multiple I servers, Palo Alto, Windows, WSA, Palo Alto. See how many devices I have installed on this and see what is the resources, what is the capacity of this server. Capacity is 512 GB RAM, right? 3 TB storage is there, right? Maximum gigahertz of CPU is there. This is operating system. I'm not at all talking about application. This is operating system where you deploy this virtual machine. So basically, what I have here is, I'll tell you, I have one hardware, UCS, or currently the server which I was showing you right now, it was a HP server. Okay, so wait, it was something server like this. HP server 385 model 385 server. Okay, so this is the server which I was currently accessing, this server. Okay, this was the server on which I have installed operating system. And which operating system I have installed? ESXi, not Windows. I have installed ESXi operating system. This is the server, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So I have a server. See, guys, I'll tell you how exactly it is. Yeah, see this. So I have a physical hardware, first of all. I have a physical hardware, and that physical hardware has a VMware operating system that is called Type 1 hypervisor. And on top of that, we install any operating systems. We not operating system, we install a virtual machine like any firewall, like Cisco, Palo Alto, any firewall that you want, you can install it. And this operating system gives you all the mechanism that is used. Like you can create a switch, you can create VLAN, you can create everything. Guys, have you ever seen creating switch or VLAN inside your Windows, inside a Linux, inside a MacBook? Have you seen ever creating a switch, VLAN, all this type of stuff? No, right?
No.
You can't directly install a virtual machine on top of that. Not possible. So understand what I'm talking about. If you want to create your own private data center, if you want a private data center, private cloud, or private data center DC, this type of servers are used. And on top of that, this type of operating systems are used on which you can create a virtual switch, on top of which you can install this type of servers. Right. Guys, this is what happens in a real time. I'm talking about a real time perspective. Right. Additionally, benefit is if I have a software based firewall, I can deploy it on a AWS, I can deploy it on, Azure or any other public clouds. Is this clear to all of you guys? Did you understand what is difference between software based firewall and a hardware based firewall? Benefits, pro and cons, benefits and disadvantages and advantages. Am I clear, guys?
Yeah. Yeah.
सर बोल रहा हूँ का VMware का सर इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा.
See, if you want to do your own lab, as of now, you guys don't have server. You have your PC or a laptop. Okay. So in this laptop, how much RAM you have? Now, minimum if you have 16 GB RAM, it is good for you guys to have you can do maximum labs. Not all the labs, but yes, maximum labs can be done. Okay. So on top of this Windows, I want you guys in your PC or a laptop, I want you guys to install VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation. I want you guys to install this VMware Workstation. And inside VMware Workstation, I want you guys to install EVNG. Are you guys aware of EVNG?
Yes.
Have you guys installed EVNG in your PC, guys?
Not
Sir.
yet. If you have a resource, can you share us if it's possible?
Yeah, I have. I'll guide you guys with my videos and all. I'll tell you step by step how to. I'll give you my videos where you can follow it and install it step by step. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. See, don't worry. I'll give you complete solution. You don't have to go anywhere regarding labs, regarding technical issues, whatever you are facing. I'll give you a single solution. Don't worry. Okay, now let's move on. Today we have to complete this and we have to move towards ASA firewall, guys, because we have spent around 3 classes on basics of firewall. And I wanted you guys to be very good with basics because, without fundamentals of firewall, it's not good. It's not good to start directly with, any firewall, ASA, Palo or checkpoint, anything, right? Now understand, guys, what is stateless firewall and stateful firewall. Understand this part. Assume you have a Cisco device here. You have a Cisco router. Understand this is a Cisco router, and in a Cisco router, you have configured ACLs. You configured these ACLs, and you made that router to work like a firewall. You did a traffic filtering, right? In such case, what will happen? Whenever anyone is passing any traffic through the firewall, your router or a firewall, right? This router firewall will not maintain any entry here. It will not keep a record of any entry. Like you have a routing table to see in a route. I mean, if you want to check a routes, you'll check a routing table, isn't it? So that way, it won't have any entry for the traffic passing through the firewall. So returning traffics will not be checked against the any existing table. There is no table maintained. There is no entry maintained by stateless firewall. That's why we call it as a stateless firewall.
सर
Whenever,
हिंदी में सर बोलिए तो अच्छे होंगे नहीं
sorry,
पा रहा सर हिंदी में प्लीज बोलिए
okay, try understanding. I'll tell you guys in a Hindi as well. Don't worry. See, what I'm trying to tell here is this guy is trying to telnet. For example, let's say I have a server here. Try understanding simple language I'm trying to make you understand. Let's say I have a server here with IP 10.11.11.1. Okay, this is my server. And here I'm trying to have port number. Okay, here I'm trying to tell you to do a telnet. Okay, this is my telnet server. For example, this is telnet server. So in this from here, I'm telling you guys to telnet this guy. Okay, my source IP is 172.16.10.5. Just giving you example, guys. Okay, so I'm telling you to telnet from here to this server. Okay, now this guy is connected at one interface and this server is connected at other interface. So understand this is at G0 by 0 and this is at G0 by 1. We have two different interfaces over here, G0 by 0 and G0 by 1. Two interfaces we have. Right. So now traffic is passing through this device, right? So what will be source IP? First of all, tell me, I'm trying to telnet. So telnet is TCP based traffic. What is my source IP? My source IP is 172.16.10.5. Source port number will be taken randomly, like 35. Guys, please mute yourself. Please mute. Now see, this is my source IP, source port number, and we have a destination IP 10.11.11.1, and destination port number is 23, right? And many more. When it got started, let's say it the connection has been established since 2 minutes 20 seconds, right? Timer is there, flag is there, right? And many more informations are there. So flag is like AUIO, okay, or UIO, for example, UIO I have. Now, what is UIO? What is flag? What is timer? Okay, this is idle time value. Idle time value. See, I'm just giving you one example. Understand, guys. Please try to understand what I'm trying to tell you. If, wait, I have a call, guys. Just a minute. Okay. Now, please try to understand what I'm saying here. What is meaning of stateless firewall? I'm trying to explain this part. What is stateless firewall? A device. Now, this device, you understand, this is router. This is not a firewall, this is router. On a router, you have created some ACL and you are trying to make it work like a firewall. We call it as a iOS firewall. So this is iOS firewall. For example, this is iOS firewall. On a router, you created a ACL and you made it work like a firewall. That's why the icon is like firewall here. So from this source, from this interface, from this source through the firewall, you are trying to telnet this guy. So technically, there should be some record on a router or a firewall. There should be some record, okay, maintained. But in a stateless firewall, there is no record maintained. Like this, there should be some record maintained. Like this, some information should be maintained. That is called state table or connection table. Like that, we give a name. So simply understand, whenever any connection is passing through the firewall, your firewall does not maintain any entry. It does not maintain any record. That's why we call it as a stateless firewall. Whereas, same thing, if same traffic passes through this firewall, like stateful firewall, right? If it passes through the firewall, this firewall will maintain this entry. This entry will be there inside the firewall. We'll call it as a state table, connection table. Different names are there. So what will happen? When traffic is going through the firewall, it will maintain this table, right? And whenever reply is coming back, it will check, is this reply coming? I mean, is this reply TCP based? Is this reply going to same guy, to same port number? Reply, is it coming from the same guy from the outside with same port number or not? It will verify all the parameters, everything it will verify. And if it finds anything is changing, packet will be dropped here itself. It won't let the packet go outside. It means whenever any connection is passing through the firewall, it will maintain the table, it will maintain the entry, and whenever any reply comes back, it will check your existing connection table, and then it will give reply back. This is called state table. See, it has a different names. It can be state table, it can be connection table, right? Connection table, right? This type of names are given. So, stateful firewall, stateful firewalls maintain the connection table or a state table, but your stateless firewall does not maintain this type of table. This type of tables are not maintained by your stateless firewall. So in a real time, stateless firewalls are not used. It was used when? In 90s, these methods were used. See, I'll give you one example. In 90s, when there wasn't a dedicated firewall, there were few technologies like CBAC, 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 ACL. See, this is configure context-based access control list. Now, this type of ACLs were used in our 90s to make a router to work like a firewall versus a reflexive ACL. See, these are the type of ACLs which were used earlier to make a router to work like a firewall. CBAC ACL versus reflexive ACL, right? But now these things are not used. Why? These are outdated. Now we have advanced firewalls. We have a stateful firewalls, right? So now we are not working with the stateless firewall. We are working with the stateful firewall. But still, you have to know all these things. You have to know all these informations. Reason? When you go in an interview, they can ask you this type of questions. Tell me what is the stateless firewall. Tell me types of firewall. So you have to explain all these things. Guys, am I clear now? What is stateless and stateful?
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
I would like to know from Subrato and other guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. See, one thing I'll tell you guys. It's a fact I'm telling you. Interviews will never be taken in Hindi. Okay, it will be always in English. So try understanding in English language. If you are not at all able to understand, then I'll try explaining in Hindi itself. Okay, that is not a problem. But only in a worst case, if you are not able to understand concept, in that case, you tell me, I'll explain it. But I'll try to use simple words in English to make you guys understand. Okay. See, this thing, what you understood right now, stateless and stateful, right? I'll show you this practically with the lab. I'll show you all these things. So that time you'll get more clarity. Okay. So right now have patience. I would say, go through these concepts, do some research, right? And go through the information what I told you today about stateless and stateful. You'll have more clarity on that. Okay. All right. Now we have firewall features. What is firewall feature? See, guys, you guys understood hardware, you guys understood software. So network-based firewalls can be hardware or software. And in both a hardware or a software, I can have these features. We understood stateless firewall. We understood stateful firewall. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the features under the stateful firewall. Okay. So here under the stateful firewall, what features are there? And under the next generation firewall, what features are there? Right. So now see here, these are features of stateful firewall. Like you guys will be learning ASA firewall. ASA, Cisco ASA firewall. You guys will be learning Cisco ASA firewall. Understand, Cisco ASA firewall is stateful firewall. Okay. Not a next generation firewall. Cisco ASA firewall is stateful firewall, but not a next generation firewall. Why? Why? Understand? Answer is ASA firewall was one of the earlier firewall of earliest firewall of your Cisco. If I talk about Cisco, Cisco had a first firewall called as a PIX firewall. PIX firewall. And later PIX firewall was upgraded in 2005. In 2005, PIX was upgraded to ASA. Understood? First, there was a PIX firewall, and PIX was upgraded to ASA firewall. And this ASA firewall was stateful firewall. So that time, that much visibility wasn't there. That time, that much technology wasn't there. Guys, in 2000, what type of mobile phones were there? Even there wasn't a mobile phones, I guess, that time, right? Phaser was there, different other satellite phones were there, right? Advanced type of mobile phones were not there, smartphones were not there, Nokia type of phones were there. I don't know exactly when phone got created, but I'm just giving you example, like smart TVs and all. So everything got adapted, got changed after the period of time itself. Same thing happened with your firewalls. So if you see Wikipedia of your ASA firewall, so here it is clearly mentioned, guys. Okay. So here it is mentioned Cisco ASA 5500 ASA Adaptive Security Appliance was introduced in 2005 May, right? So basically, it was the same product PIX firewall, right? Which was updated, later as a ASA firewall. In that many things were updated in a ASA firewall. So PIX was upgraded to ASA. Now, what were the things like IPS feature, VPN feature? These things were now included into a single box. Right. Now, what are those things? I'll later discuss about those part, guys. Okay. Right now, just understand, earlier days there were firewall. There were not a next generation firewall. Like earlier there were keypad mobile phones, not a smartphone. Right. Same way, earlier we had firewalls, not a next generation firewall. So earlier we just had a stateful firewalls, not a next generation firewall. So what were the features of stateful firewalls? What were the features of stateful firewalls? Features were packet filtering, stateful filtering, routing was done, transparent firewall was done, AAA supported. AAA means authentication, authorization and accounting, right? VPN was supported, IPv6 was supported, VPN load balancing was supported, stateful failover was supported, clustering was supported, MPF, modular policy framework. These are the features of your firewall. These are the features of firewall, just a firewall. I mean, stateful firewall. This is not a next generation firewall, right? So later in 2013, Cisco came up with a new firewall. First, it was called SourceFire. First, it was called SourceFire. Later, SourceFire was called Firepower. Okay, Firepower, or you can say it was called FTD, Firepower Threat Defense. FTD firewall. You guys might have heard about. This firewall is next generation firewall. So this is next generation firewall, guys. FTD firewall is a next generation firewall. Understood? So this firewall, next generation firewall, nowadays we have. But previous firewalls were not a next generation firewall. It was just a firewall. Okay. So what is a definition of next generation firewall? See, a definition of next generation firewall. Next generation firewall says, I have all firewall features. It means what? It says, hey, whatever you had this firewall feature, I have that firewall feature here. See, that firewall feature I have, stateful firewall I have, right? But along with that, I have anti-bot, VPN, URL filtering, right? Threat emulation, extraction, antivirus, identity awareness, app control, anti-spam, intrusion prevention, data loss prevention. See how many things they included in a single operating system, right? I mean, multiple features, when you put in a single operating system, it becomes a next generation firewall. So I have a visibility now. I have more visibility. Okay, day by day, new features are added. Now firewalls are being added with artificial intelligence. They are getting added with machine learning. Now these are next level of firewalls again. So we had a next generation firewall earlier, which were having these many features. Now we have again a upgraded next generation firewall, which has again AI, ML included inside that. So this is what happens after the period of time, right? Every day, new things are evolving and new things are getting created, right? This is called next generation firewall. Guys, am I clear between what's the difference between stateful firewall and a next generation firewall? Am I clear?
Yeah, you are.
Clear between stateful firewall and a next generation firewall?
Yeah, it's clear.
I need confirmations from others as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it's good.
Fine. So your task is again, what are the 10 features of next generation firewall? You'll do that research. Okay. You'll do research on what is packet filtering, what is stateful filtering, right? You'll do research on these topics as well. I can ask you anything from this. And you have to remember 10 features. 10 features of next generation firewall. You have to tell me the 10 features. I can ask you anytime. In between any day, I can ask you, hey, tell me 10 features of next generation firewall. What were the features of firewall? What were the, I mean, I can ask you what were the features of stateful firewall? What are the features of next generation firewall? Right? Like that, I can ask you these questions anytime. Okay. So please make a note of such things. Okay.
सर प्लीज आज सेंड कीजिए ओका रिकॉर्डिंग और का पीडीएफ सर
Yeah.
ओका नहीं ओका जो
Guys,
होगा
first of all, take this PDF, all of you. Take this PDF. I have shared in a Zoom. Check in a Zoom, guys. Zoom. Download that PDF right now, all of you. I shared in a Zoom Fundamentals of Firewall. Till today, whatever I covered, I have shared it. Please download, all of you.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. Uh,
यस सर डाउनलोड
fine, fine. Guys, today onwards, we are starting ASA Firewall officially. Okay. So we just completed Fundamentals of Firewall, and today onwards, we are again getting into a ASA Firewall. How many of you have joined from today? How many of you have
सर
joined?
Me, sir.
8%.
Okay. So Rana, you missed previous all classes, right? I mean, till
Yes,
today we
sir.
have done total 3 classes. You missed those classes.
Yes, sir.
Today, you guys will get a drive access. I'll drop that drive access in a group. You are in a WhatsApp group, right? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
यस सर यस
Okay. So, guys, please mute. Okay, this is done. Guys, before starting ASA, I'll tell you what are the topics that I'll be covering under the ASA. I'll give you syllabus of ASA. All of you download this syllabus from Zoom chat. I have given in a Zoom chat, guys. Please download ASA syllabus. All of you downloaded, guys, documents?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Today I'll just give you introduction of what topics I'll be covering, okay? And what is the next plan I'll be giving you, and I'll give you some topics, and I'll give you some tasks as well. See, we're starting ASA firewall now. In ASA firewall, some tasks are there. So there is small, medium.
Sir, can we start with the FortiGate?
See, before starting FortiGate, it's good if you can understand ASA. I don't have a problem starting with FortiGate. Okay.
Yes, I am saying, sir.
Do you guys know ASA firewall? See, ASA firewall will take around 1 month. That's why I'm asking. You guys decide and tell me what you want to get started with. Do you want to start with FortiGate or ASA?
Sir, ASA.
ASA, ASA.
Yes, yes, sir.
Anyways, later or soon you guys have to start with ASA, right? See, starting with ASA gives you more visibility about firewall, okay? So I would say that would be a right path. Your task, I'm giving you task, guys. In our next class, I'll ask you these things. Model number of small, medium, and large. So I need model number of ASA firewall, which is of small organization, used for a small organization, used for medium organization, and used for large organization. I need these model numbers. That's our first thing that we are going to discuss. I'll discuss about specifications, right? About the firewall. Those are very, very important, guys. So now see what exactly I'll be covering in a syllabus. First, 1 week will go with fundamentals of firewall, okay, in which multiple practicals are there. First of all, we just completed this topic, guys. Right now, we completed fundamentals of firewall. Next, we are going to learn modes of firewall, right? So even this will be your next task. So here you can see, we'll first of all go with modes of firewall. So your task is to understand what is router mode, router or a L3 mode, and you have to understand what is transparent or L2 firewall mode, L3 firewall mode. Understood? Very, very important topic this. This is one of the most important topic, guys. Hereafter only things will move on. Understood? So you have to understand what is L3 firewall or a router mode firewall, right? You can say router mode. So many tasks I'm giving you guys. Okay. So router mode or a transparent mode. It is also called as a L3 mode or L2 mode, right? These are the main things that you have to understand in ASA firewall, because your firewalls, either it is ASA firewall, FortiGate firewall, or a Palo Alto firewall, can be deployed in these two modes only. It can be in a router mode, it can be in a L3 mode, right? I mean, L3 or a router mode, it's the same thing, guys. Or you can deploy it, or you can make your firewall to work like a transparent mode, which is also called as a L2 mode. Now, if you don't know what is L3 mode, L2 mode, you won't be able to understand. Right. So first target is to complete all these topics, guys, in our ASA firewall. So we'll focus on this area. Guys, in general, what do you mean by L3 mode? What is L3 mode? Tell me. What is L3 mode?
Deployment of the IP base via
Yeah,
firewall.
exactly. So you'll configure IP address at your firewall interfaces, right? And it will do routing between different subnets. So you can deploy it as a edge device in between. As I gave an example in a fundamentals of firewall, what is edge device? You can deploy a firewall as a edge device, and you can do routing between multiple subnets. This is where L3 firewall comes into a picture. L2 firewall comes into a picture when you have to deploy filtering within a same subnet. So different use cases that, okay. Later I'll tell you about all these things. I'll show practical, okay. So guys, major tasks that you guys have to do, as I told you. First, I told you guys, wait, I'm giving you task properly. I want you guys to follow this document, okay. I'm giving you one document. This is the first thing that we'll be covering. Guys, download this document, ASA and ASAV firewall. I gave you this document. In this firewall, I have shown you guys a small office and a branch office model numbers. ASA firewall 5500/05, ASA hardware with 5510, ASA firewall 5512X, 5515X, right? In these firewalls, you have to see what's the difference, right? Here you can see in this model numbers, throughput, the speed that will be supported, 150 Mbps. This model will support 300 Mbps. This will support 1 Gbps speed. This will support 1.2 Gbps speed, right? So there is a difference. Now in your organization, if you have a requirement of 1 Gbps speed, you'll not purchase 5505 model. You'll purchase 5512 model at least, right? So you see 5500 series firewalls are there.
Sir, 1
This,
GPS means bandwidth, yeah.
yeah, bandwidth I'm talking about. Okay. So 1 Gbps interface speed I'm talking about, right? So this is a small office or a branch office type of firewall. But if I have internet edge or a data center type of firewalls required, then what can be a model number? Model numbers are we have internet edge type of firewalls. We have 5520, we have 5525X, we have 5540, 5545X. Now, one thing you guys will find a difference. Guys, in every firewalls, you will see you have 5520, 5540. This is one series of firewall, and there is another X series of firewall, X series. See, there is X series. So whichever firewall you see here is a X series firewall. Is a X series. Whichever firewall you see here, X series firewall, and without X series firewall you have. So these firewalls which are without X series, these are now gone. It's not there in a market. We have only X series firewalls. Okay. Without X series firewalls are gone. So I'll ask you in a next class, tell me the model numbers of small, tell me the model numbers of medium and large. What are the model numbers? I'll ask you what is the throughput. What is the throughput of model numbers? You have to go through that. Okay, guys, your research should be in a right direction. In every firewall, you'll also see one major difference was stateful inspection, and these are few more things that I want you guys to compare with all the model numbers. What is concurrent session? Connection per second, packets per second, VPN, how many users can connect with a VPN, right? I want you guys to do research on what is concurrent session, what is connection per second, what is packet per second, right? Okay, leave much, go through only four things. Okay, in each model number, see throughput, see concurrent session, see connection per second, and see packet per second. I want you guys to do research on these four things only. Can you guys do research for these things, guys? With each model number, can you compare all these parameters? I've already given you document. In that, you have to understand. Now, you don't know what is concurrent session. I know you don't know what is concurrent session, what is connection per second. You have to do research and then come for a next class. I'll explain you guys. That time you'll understand all these factors. Am I clear with task, guys, all of you?
Yes, sir.
So be ready with all these informations for our next class. And guys, one thing I would like to tell you. See, right now I'm in Bangalore. Okay, I'll be traveling next Monday. I'll be traveling. Okay, so next Monday I won't be able to take class. Understood? So I'll start the class from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday I'll take class. Our classes are from Monday to Thursday. Okay. So this week we had a class started from Tuesday itself. So Tuesday to Thursday we had a class. Tomorrow we don't have class. Next class will start from Tuesday, but I'll take it till Friday. Next week till Friday I'll take it and I'll make up the class. Right. On Monday we'll not have a class because I'll be traveling on that day. Okay. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday, but here I'll take regular 4 days class. So I'll be making up, uh, you know, instead of Monday, you understand I'm taking a class on Friday, right? But you have a huge time in between, guys. You have 4 days around to do a research on the topics that I have given. You'll receive videos link soon. And please go through all the videos and make a note of everything, all of you guys. That's your task. Okay. Okay. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Bye, guys.